That Friday evening carried an unexpected heaviness. Unlike the usual end to my week, drained from days of work, I'd been craving a night of closeness, perhaps a simple meal together, shared smiles, a chance to reconnect. But as I crossed the threshold of our home, the living room was eerily quiet, its emptiness broken only by a brief note resting on the dining table. Out with friends tonight. Don't wait up. A pang tightened my chest. This wasn't her first unannounced escape, but the repetition was forming a troubling pattern. Lately, she seemed far away, her eyes locked on her phone, her replies short and clipped, always dodging plans to spend time together. I called her, but the phone rang without answer. Moments later, a text vibrated through. Relax, I'm with my girls. Home late. Staring at the message, a mix of frustration and pain stirred within me. Jealousy wasn't my nature, but being consistently pushed aside without so much as a discussion left me feeling like a shadow in my own existence. Over the past few weeks, I'd noticed a routine to her disappearances. Every Friday, she and her friends gathered at the same high-end restaurant, indulging in lavish meals and drinks, as if it were a weekly celebration. Each time, my credit card covered the cost. That morning, I'd caught sight of the latest bank statement slipping out of her purse. The amounts weren't small, but the real hurt wasn't about money. It was what those expenses represented. She delighted in the lifestyle my efforts supported, yet showed little interest in sharing it with me. The ache went beyond any financial tally, so when she casually mentioned another evening out, I managed a strained smile and said, "Enjoy yourself." But in my mind, a precise plan was already forming. As she immersed herself in her night, she'd discover her extravagant evening wasn't funded by me this time. That evening, I watched her depart, her favorite dress flowing, her heels tapping confidently against the floor. 10 minutes after she left, I opened my banking app and froze her credit card. I could already envision the moment her self-assurance would waver when the waiter delivered the bad news. She wanted independence on her terms. I was about to show her what that truly felt like. The rooftop lounge she'd chosen buzzed with energy, glasses clinking, laughter ringing out, the air thick with expensive perfumes. Her friends greeted her with warm hugs and animated chatter, already swapping stories and snapping photos for their social media feeds. This was her world, enveloped by people captivated by her charisma and envious of the flawless image she projected, where appearances reigned supreme. Settling into a cushioned booth, she flashed a polished smile, one honed to declare, "I've got everything under control." When the waiter approached, she handed over the card I'd just disabled with serene confidence. The first sign of trouble came when the payment was rejected. The waiter tried again, his face courteous but tense. The card was declined. Her composure wavered slightly. She swiped it once more, hoping for a glitch. Her friends' lively conversation hushed, their glances tinged with discomfort. "Is something wrong?" one asked, her voice edged with skepticism. She nodded reassuringly, but her hands trembled faintly as she tried the card again. The waiter returned, his expression sympathetic. "I'm sorry, it's not going through." For the first time that evening, her carefully curated facade fractured. Her friends exchanged awkward smiles, some whispering, others watching with quiet intrigue. Her cheeks flushed, not just from the cool night air, but from the sharp bite of public embarrassment. She excused herself to the restroom, leaving behind half-finished drinks and curious stares. In the seclusion of the stall, her phone lit up with notifications, missed calls and texts from me. She didn't respond. I could imagine the anxiety tightening in her chest as she realized I'd severed the financial support she'd relied on, the one that upheld her effortless persona. Returning to the table, she forced a smile, but the atmosphere had shifted. The murmurs persisted, and even the photo she shared online felt hollow, a shallow act. I didn't need to be there to know. Mutual friends relayed every detail. That night wasn't just a dent to her ego. It signaled a change. The next morning, the house was heavy with unvoiced tension, thicker than any argument we'd ever had. She moved carefully, avoiding my eyes, as if bearing the weight of the previous night. When I asked about the card, she gave a forced smile and muttered, "Probably a bank error." But I knew the reality. In the days that followed, I noticed subtle shifts. Her outings became less frequent. Her laughter grew quieter, Her attention seemed to wander. Our conversations resumed, but they were delicate, like walking on thin ice. Eventually, she spoke candidly, confessing how much she'd depended on the lifestyle I provided, how she'd taken it for granted, and how the humiliation of that night had jolted her. It was never just about the money. It was about respect, honesty, and true partnership. I explained that trust isn't built on lavish nights or designer purchases, but on facing life together, sharing both the joys and the struggles. Tears streamed down her face as she nodded, finally understanding the consequences of her choices. That night became a pivotal moment for us. It exposed how our comfortable routines had eroded the foundation of our relationship. We chose to rebuild, step by careful step, through open conversations, shared responsibilities, and moments together free of distractions or ulterior motives. I never revealed that I'd frozen the card to test whether she valued our bond beyond its surface. A relationship isn't a prize to show off. It's a commitment that demands care and mutual respect. That night cost us both, but it was a price worth paying to protect what truly mattered. Sometimes, a harsh lesson is the only way to shatter a meticulously crafted illusion. In that moment of humiliation followed by honesty, we found an opportunity to start anew.